Hey there, gang. Patrick King here, coming at you live with a new question of the day. I'm excited to be getting back to these, so thank you to everybody for tuning in. So today's question is going to come to us from Sally, and Sally sent this question in a message through Facebook. And the question is, can a horse get more spooky after an injury? My calm, relaxed mare was injured by an overzealous gelding about a month ago. Her internal injuries have healed, but her stifle is still sore. She says she's doing chiro care and rehab for that. She says, but she's really easily spooked now, reacting to things that she used to walk past with ease, and even when just grooming, if she hears something unusual, she tenses up. Can a horse have a form of PTSD, she asks. So I would say, I'm not qualified to say if the horse has PTSD necessarily, but if we think about her perspective in this case, and that's what Sally's trying to do by asking this question, obviously, but if we think from this mare's perspective, from the perspective of a prey animal, particularly one now with a stifle injury. Stifle is a pretty important joint when it comes to mobility, right? So from the prey animal perspective, any sort of an injury like that, even on the healing side of it, the world has kind of been turned upside down a little bit for her, and her ability to flee from danger is less than what it was in the past, okay? And horses, we know, as a prey species, hide lameness for a living because in general, horses, if we think about them in the wild, the ones that get eaten first, as much as we don't like to think about that, the ones that get eaten first are the ones that appear lame, injured, or sick, right? So when a horse has an injury, in this case, it sounds like Sally's mare is responding as would be pretty typical for any self-respecting prey animal, right? She's on higher alert. So that's a really common thing that can happen when a horse is recovering from an injury like this. So one of the things, Sally, that I would recommend that you can add to your work with your horse would be some gentle form body work, like Masterson method is going to be a great one to utilize for her because that really gets the nervous system active in the participation of unlocking the tension that she's experiencing. I think that's really important. That's actually something that I try, body work in general, something that I try to incorporate on a weekly basis with even horses that I have in training. And I try to think about all of my aids as being a form of body work for horses, helping to find and release tension. One of the other things that I want to think about is the training sessions that you have. Try to bring in novel training sessions, things that maybe she hasn't done in the past, as a way to help her to think a little bit differently in the situation that you're putting her in. Just a little side note here for you. If you're unsure of new, novel training sessions that you can have with your horse, I've got some ideas put together in a PDF that you can access, and I have that at 10horsetrainingsessions.com. That's the number 10 horsetrainingsessions.com. That's just a side note there. I've also got a couple videos that you can find at that link that Jack Ballou and I did together, talking about warming a horse up and what the working session would look like and cooling down. So that's great information for everyone to have, but particularly in this situation of trying to think about what new training sessions or working sessions can I bring in to make things a little more interesting for my horse. That's a great link for you to follow. And why I think that's really helpful in this situation, Sally, with your horse or anybody's horses that are recovering from an injury, and on the other side of it, is that it can really help them to get thinking about their body in a different way, which is really important on the recovery side of an injury. Thinking about our body in a different way. You want to think about most of your sessions at this point are going to be functioning as rehabilitative sessions, okay, for the body as well as for the mind. So I hope that that's helpful for you, Sally. I hope it helps you to understand a little bit more of kind of where your horse is coming from with her new spookiness, okay? And take it slow, work within her comfort and confidence level, and I'm certain that you'll get her back on track soon. So hopefully this was helpful for you and for anybody else listening. And maybe send it to a friend. If you've got a friend that you think could benefit from this advice or from these thoughts, please feel free to share this video with them. What horsemanship questions do you have? Go ahead and drop them in the comments below, and I might answer them in an upcoming video. Thanks, gang.